Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Upkick MMA, episode 452. I am Brendan. UFC 311 prelims, right? This is going to cover all the prelims. Payton Talbott versus Raoni Barcelos. The rest of the prelims are going to break all the fights down, go through them round by round. If you like this kind of thing, subscribe to the channel. That way, the next video is coming out. I'd super appreciate it. If you're looking for the main card, the main card video breakdown, that's the last one. Go check that video out too as well. Again, please. I'm the worst. All right, I'm fumbling my way through this. Let's get into that first fight. Raoni Barcelos taking on Payton Talbott. So Payton Talbott, up-and-comer, lots of talent here. Just ran into a veteran who knew how to get a win and cheat his way to victory. I'm only partially being hyperbolic about that. So Barcelos grabs the leg and looks for the takedown almost immediately. Talbott trying for that high elbow guillotine, but getting nothing there. And then Barcelos staying on the body lock, jumping to the backpack, keeping control for 4 minutes and 51 seconds of this round. That's his round, 10-9. Not a lot of damage, just a lot of control. Second round, Talbott keeping his elbows in tight and his arms low, looking kind of to defend that takedown position. He landed that 1-2, keeping the pressure on really nice, and then Barcelos ducks under, gets right on top with 310. No damage. Talbott landing a nice right hand after he gets back up, and then another takedown from Barcelos to the mount, and then the back. Again, no damage. Spinning back fist lands for Barcelos, but Talbot staying the pressure with the jab. Barcelos looking like an old man with his movements as the round is going on, even if he lands a bit and gets a takedown with 40 seconds left. Able to secure the round 20-18. Let's see if he can avoid the damage and get the panic takedown in that last round, which is what he's going to need to win. Even though he got outstruck here 25-17, I don't think so much damage was done by Talbot. If you gave the second round to Talbot, I could understand, but I had a 20-18 for Barcelos. Last round here, Talbot in his face, and then he gets the lat drop, beautiful lateral drop, and gets on top and then tries to do some damage, and then Barcelos grabbing the fence, just straight up grabs the fence to stand up. And then Herb Dean, good job, buddy. Good job. Yeah, you stop the action. You ask Talbot where you want the fight to go, and then you give him the wrong position. That was cool. You don't take a point. Like, what the fuck are you doing, you clown? Like, I understand that he wins referee of the year every time because I guess he doesn't let people die in there. Is that it? Like, I'm just like, all these warnings mean nothing. They mean nothing. They don't help the fighter. You stopping, at least he tried to do something here. He just screwed this up as well. I understand that, like, in the moment, like this and that, like, would you do any better? I don't know. But I'm not I'm not getting paid to do this shit. You are. Figure this shit out. Figure this shit out. They get paid whether they win or lose or not. They don't get paid the same whether they win or lose. You get paid the same just showing up, whether you fuck up or not. Like, take this shit serious, which I know I know I'm being hard on him because last year he was like a clown, like absolute clown show. 1,000 warnings, no point deductions. This year, starting off strong, buddy. And then immediately when they get back up, Barcelos has a ton of energy because of that break that Herb Dean gave him, even though he was in a bad position. Gets right up, catches the knee to get the takedown. They get back up, and it's chaos, and he has a ton of energy all of a sudden. Barcelos stays on top after the takedown. That's the fight. Cheating works. Cheating works, guys. It does. Why would you not? Of course you're going to cheat. As far as the scorecards go, Payton Talbott. All right, so Chris Lieben, 30-27. Chris Krell, that's a guy I never heard of before, 30-26. That's kind of wacky. And Jonathan Romero, 30-27. I feel like those are all accurate. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. I don't know if there's a ton of stats in this one to break down. Azamat Bekoev versus Zach Reese. Reese landing a hard knee to the body and the elbow and tight, but then he gets dumped on his back. Bekoev starts landing some ground and pound and able to get the finish. Like, he was on top for a while, but he was able to get the finish. Barcelos going for that rear naked choke, the arm triangle, and then he wasn't able to get not able to get that finish. He went for the rear naked choke, the arm triangle, and then a rear naked choke, staying in control in the entire round. Wait, what the heck? Oh. I put the Barcelos notes for the end of the first round into the into this one. God dang it, what an idiot. Yeah, he got the finish. I was right when I said that, and then I should have stopped reading. It's like, why does it say that he did stuff after there's a finish? Billy Elekana versus Bogdan Guskov. Elekana, I'm like stepping up on short notice, or he talking about how he wasn't really ready for the fight, and it showed a little because he did try to empty the gas tank early, and he looked good for a moment, but it showed. Elekana gets a takedown, get into the back, slick with the hooks in almost immediately after he gets a takedown. Guskov able to get out of it with 43 seconds left, landed some ground and pound well on Elekana's back, and honestly, ends the round squeezing the neck hard and like for a rear naked choke, and then the tap happens after, so you can't count that. But Elekana did tap after the bell, and again, that does not count. But that just shows you how tight that squeeze was, which you could have told without the tap. But my point is, like, it just reinforces that information, right? Close round. I feel like Guskov was closer in this one to getting the finish. Looking at the striking numbers here, 12-8 in favor of Guskov. Those were hard shots. That submission attempt, getting him, that was close, man. 3 minutes and 40 seconds of control time is great, but he didn't outdamage him. I gave that to Guskov. Second round, Elekana looks kind of defeated out there. Still staying in tight and throwing, but his body language was just different this round. Guskov taking his time, landing uppercuts, hooks around the guard, going to the body shots, folding Elekana. He just falls to one of his knees, taking a bunch of punches, and then eventually, instead of getting the TKO finish, Guskov goes for the guillotine and gets a finish that way. Great finish from him. Great fight. Great performance. I wouldn't be mad to see Elekana again, maybe with a full camp. Hopefully he doesn't get too dejected from this loss. I hope he doesn't take it hard because it looks like he's got some fun in him. Grant Dawson versus Diego Ferreira. Now, on the main video, I did mention a guy, Gregor Gillespie, and that should remind you of kind of what was going to happen here. So Ferreira circling the warning track, and Dawson finding the mark with a hard low kick and some spinning kicks. Blocked on the arms and to the body a little, but, he's throwing a lot out there, especially for a wrestler. Ferreira looking measured and plotting with the low kicks and the 1-2. Dawson gets a takedown, pulling the ankles out, and then the hip ride. Dawson is relentless on him, holding the foot on the way up and kicking him in the head. Best shot of the round for sure. Gets back on top of him, and this is how Ferreira lost to Gregor Gillespie. It was just the pressure. Obviously, Gillespie didn't land a ton of damage, but he just kept on him, and Ferreira just folded. Like, he just couldn't keep up. This round was all Dawson, 10-9. Ferreira just not known for his wrestling cardio, and I don't think he fought too hard this round, so he might have the cardio left over. 3-11 for control time in favor of Dawson, and then 21-11 for striking numbers. Dawson definitely had the damage in this round. Ferreira goes right across and gets in his face with some chaos. Dawson shoots and ends up having to shake him off his back after a failed takedown attempt. Ferreira finding the mark with that right hand. Dawson standing and swinging with no success, but able to change levels when Ferreira's throwing and gets on top again. Not a ton of damage from him, but that's enough. And 21-17 striking numbers in favor of Dawson. And again, 3 minutes and 44 seconds of control time. That's his round. 20-18. Dawson shoots right away in this last round. Ferreira tries to go back, do the back crucifix. I know that position well. Falls off, which I know that well. Dawson stays on top, and the ref stands them up with no warning, which is just fantastic. I think it was Frank Trigg. Yeah, sure was. Good job, Frank. And then Dawson catches him with a hook and shake. So the ref stands him up with no warning, and then Ferreira starts talking shit and yelling at Dawson. Like, okay. And then Dawson catches him with a hook and shakes him. Like, he rocks him and then gets the foot sweep and takes him down. So, like, what the fuck are you going to say now? Finishing the fight strong. Lots of control time, 3 minutes and 55 seconds. More damage in this round. That one shot did enough. Clearly a good win for Grant Dawson. No arguments. No lies detected. All right. Ailin Perez taking on Karol Rosa. I don't know. It felt like the commentary was all over the place with this shit. Talking about how Karol Rosa was down round. I don't feel like she was that far behind. And looking, we'll talk about it when we get to it. Rosa with the hard low kick, and Perez finding a moment with a great entry, gets a takedown. She didn't really do much with it. 2 minutes left in the round. They're back up. Leg kicks from Rosa are there, and she's pressuring pressuring fighter, and just nothing going for Perez. She did like no damage. 18-13 for striking numbers in favor of Rosa. The damage clearly goes in her favor. I don't feel like Perez did any damage this round. Like no big shots landed. Rosa landed more, like the total strikes also 48-21. That's the big difference maker in this round. You really want to get in the nitty gritty. That control time meant nothing. She just laid there. So I had Rosa winning that first round. Second round, Perez looking for the hook, then the level change, but nothing doing. Perez going with kicks up the middle to the body, and at least that's something, Rosa landing that right hand at the end of her range, just not catching him super flush. Perez catching a flying knee attempt and following up with the body lock to get the takedown, get it to the ground. Damage was close this round, but the control went to Perez. That's just the way this one worked. 16-11 for striking numbers in favor of Perez, but the control time is what made the big difference here. So I felt like it was relatively close. Rosa was landing the better shots, but this wasn't enough. She definitely didn't outland her this round. Last round here, Rosa landing that right hand and those low kicks, trying to find that lead hook. With 2:30 left, the round was damn near even for me. Perez might be throwing more, but I don't think she's landing more. Most of that stuff's landing on the arms. She did outthrow her 67-54. The commentary are really thinking Perez has this in the bag, but I just didn't think so. I thought it was 1-1. And then going to this last round, I thought it was pretty damn close. Those leg kicks that landed in this round were fucking devastating. Very hard leg kicks. And it shows here's the thing. It shows 16 leg kicks for Perez. They were not that hard. Rosa's leg kicks were very, very hard kicks. So she outstruck her 33-24. So I could see giving this to Perez 29-28. That's acceptable. Absolutely. But, I felt like this last round was relatively close. So let's go ahead and look at the scorecards. See how the judges saw it, huh? All right. So Sal D'Amato gave the first two rounds to Perez and the last round to Rosa. Understandable. I gave that second round to Rosa, or the first round to Rosa as well, but people didn't see it that way. Chris Crail, all the rounds. That guy was off his rocker. That guy sucks. He fucked up the main event too. Gave that first round to Merab. I don't think that's a fuck up, but I think he's looking for something weird. And Jonathan Romero saw it the same way. First two rounds of Perez, last round of Rosa. So I guess Rosa was down 2 rounds. I didn't feel that way. I felt like she outdamaged. They were really counting that 2 minutes of control time. Of her laying on top, meaning more than it should. I do not like the way that we are defaulting back to the guy or woman who sits on top the longest gets the win automatically. I am not a fan of that shit. Those are not the rules. Muin Gafurov versus Rinya Nakamura. This fight was fucking weird. It was just weird. Nakamura is a grappler, and Gafurov is like, I don't know. Anyway, Nakamura throwing hard kicks, Gafurov loading up with that big overhand right, big overhands both ways, and high kicks. Figure if he lands one of those, could be a bad night. Gafurov jabbing light and lunging into that huge right hand, and over and over he does this, and Nakamura loading up as well. Big right hand finally lands for Gafurov and catches a kick at the same time to get on top. 10-9, that was the rest of the round. Not a lot of strikes landed. This was not the most exciting fight to watch. 12-10 striking numbers in favor of Gafurov. Definitely damage in his favor. Muin just giant swings, and Nakamura just not finding any real contact, although Gafurov is not landing much either early on. Finally, a stiff left hand from Nakamura, but no follow-up from him. Big 1-2 landing for Gafurov, drops him, and Nakamura shoots for a takedown, gets stuffed. Uses the front headlock to land a bunch of knees. Beautiful stuff from Gafurov. Nakamura finding almost no success. 14-9 for Gafurov for striking numbers. Clearly his round again. 20-18. Here we go. Last round. Another big right hand lands for Gafurov. Doesn't fully drop him, but man, Nakamura is having real problems finding any form of offense. And Gafurov catches a kick and goes for the control, but Nakamura shucks him off, gets on top. Nakamura goes for a strong guillotine, but just doesn't have the position for it. If he would have hipped in, maybe he loses the guillotine, but he gave it. A brief moment of possibility from Nakamura, but nothing there. This last round, because he got cracked, the striking numbers were relatively close, 12-11 in favor of Nakamura. First time he outstruck him, but that big right hand from Gafurov puts him in the damage favor, and I had 30-27. All 3 judges did as well. All right. Moving on. Bernardo Sopaj versus where am I? Ricky Turcios. They trade kicks at range. Good grief. Why am I all over the place? Because I'm rushing. That's the problem. They trade kicks at range with Sopaj backing him up to the warning track and trying to corner him. Sopaj able to partially land the high kick a couple times, forcing Turcios to circle to the power kick side. As usual, Turcios with the activity, spinning kick, low kick, and a little bit of chaos after Sopaj lands anything. So anytime Sopaj would land something, Turcios would just blah, 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 just spam kicks, punches, anything. Turcios picking up the pressure after taking a few hard kicks to the lead leg, and Sopaj sits down on his shots and counters well. And if he can keep his cardio up, he's got a good chance at landing a big enough shot to either put him down or definitely win a round. Turcios fails on a takedown, using that attempt to get to the back, falls off, stays active off of his back. Turcios was able to keep the pressure on and outland him. Classic fight from him, able to eke this one out for me, but it's very close on damage. Ricky Turcios, 25-18, outlanding him. A little bit more control time for him as well. Very close, right? Very close round for damage. But I did give it to Turcios. Second round, Turcios starting the round, mixing things up with middling success, and Sopaj with clean, slick counters and takedown defense. Turcios takes shots and keeps the pressure on, so he needs to break him to win this, right? He needs that cardio advantage to really kill Sopaj, and in a 3-round fight, I just didn't know if he was going to be able to break him. Turcios takes shots and finally able to land some clean shots. But Sopaj is fading slightly, but still able to land in tight. And then this round, Sopaj finishes the round strong, landing some big shots, winning this one. But that cardio really needs to hold up in this last round. Turcios did outstrike him here again, 30-25, but that damage from Sopaj really started to carry through. Very, very close round again. These could have gone either way. I just saw it for Sopaj. Last round, clean 4 shots, hooks going to the body and the head, hurting Turcios right at the start of the round. Sopaj still landing clean, knees up top and hooks, but just can't stop the pressure. Turcios falls off the back after some tired grappling exchanges. They're back up with 1:45. Not a whole lot going on, but Sopaj was able to keep the output up and do the damage, and he just kept it going. 38-23, outstruck him, did the damage here. Good job. So Brian Tyler and Ron McCarthy, I don't know about Brian Tyler. Ron McCarthy's a ding-a-ling. They saw it 30-27. And Felicia, I don't know anything about her. She gave that first round to Ricky Turcios. That's kind of how I figured it should go. That first round was Turcios, in my opinion. Very close, though, so I can't fault those guys for going the other way. All right. First fight of the night and the last one on the video. Clayton Carpenter versus Tagir Ulanbekov. Carpenter finding the mark with stiff jabs and a great lead hook. Ulanbekov looking to land a kick up the middle, and Carpenter landing low kicks hard. Carpenter shucks off the takedown attempt easy and then forces him to the wall. Ulanbekov able to body lock and off balance Carpenter, staying active off his back and eating some elbows, but they won't get stood up because he's being active. With a 1:05 left, they do get up. Low kicks to the leg of Ulanbekov. It appears to be affecting him a little bit. The damage on the feet goes to Carpenter for sure. The control and a bit of damage on the ground gets enough to give Ulanbekov this round. So he did outstrike him significant strikes, 19-18 for Ulanbekov. But it was the control time that really made the difference, because I feel like Carpenter did more damage on the feet proper, right? But on the ground, like with everything, Ulanbekov probably did more enough damage to even it up and get the control time. So it was close enough. Great counter, lead hook, and a left hook from Carpenter up top. Carpenter catches a kick, gets him down, but Ulanbekov grabs his shorts and uses that to get up. Not a word. And the ref, is it Peterson? No, Blake Grice just doesn't fucking say a thing. Just says, "Yep, keep fighting." Yeah, that was bad. He grabbed his shorts and pulled them to stand up. This blatant. Ulanbekov wants to take down, but gets sprawled on right into the canvas. Ulanbekov gets a body lock lift again. No damage landing for Ulanbekov on the ground. This round goes to Carpenter, in my opinion. Now, looking at the striking numbers here, 15-10 in favor of Carpenter. The control time was 132-220. So, not that big of a differential there. It wasn't a 2-minute differential like it was in the other one. And the striking differential, the damage definitely went to Carpenter in this one. So I had it 19-19. Last round. Also, the short grab rubbed me the wrong way. Ulanbekov countering the low kick with the right hand, landing well, and Ulanbekov jabbing and retreating, staying safe. He clearly thought he was winning the way he was fighting. And then he gets that same takedown again, lays and prays, and gets the win here, 29-28, in my opinion. Looking at the striking or the score here, Brian Tyler and Jonathan Romero refused to give damage any credence, and then Rafael Davis scores it how it should be. They don't even look like they belong in the same weight class either. So Ulanbekov, the size bully, weight bully, and cheats, and manages to get the win. So that's how we do it. That's how we do it, right? Take minimum pay from a country where that means something, and then cheat, cut weight like a madman, get the wins. Get favorable matchups, get the wins. Right. The UFC's been doing they've been doing this for a while now, but soccer has done this for years, or football for the international fans. They've been doing this for years. You go to an impoverished country, you find some talent, you realize you can pay them virtually nothing to develop them. If they don't work out, who cares? You spent pennies on them. But if they do work out, now you can underpay them what you would have to do to an American, or American or Europe, like a lot of other European superstars. Like you can underpay them, and they're not gonna bitch about it that much, and they can't go anywhere else. Where are they gonna take their talents? Like to the PFL? Like that's worked for some of them, I guess, but it's not a guarantee anymore because there's enough talent over there that winning $1 million is not a guarantee. Bellator basically doesn't exist anymore. Obviously, they got bought out by PFL, so the UFC's now is again the only show in town, and they're taking advantage of it. So, all right, that is it for this one. I hope you guys found something you liked. Right? I hope you did. And if you did, can you subscribe to the channel, please? That sounds so desperate. If you like this thing, subscribe to the channel. There we go. That's how YouTubers talk. Fuck off. Anyway, and if you did find yourself liking this video, hit the like button. That'd be great. I appreciate y'all. It means a lot to me. I know, like I said at the top of this one, I know these are late. I know. I thought I'd get them done, and I just couldn't. I just didn't have time. So I appreciate y'all. I know these videos are late. Love you guys. Have an amazing week. Peace.